Alright, so of course we're going to get into PS2 news before I continue my Battlefront 2 Community Review Part 2. I know, kind of weird. But for PS2 news, all that's really new, and it's kind of important in some ways. Call of Duty 3, the new DNS is still working. I just played yesterday. It was just a 2v2, nothing special. But it works. Hopefully it still is up today. If not, you know, let me know. And also, Battlefront 2, they finally found people who are gonna host the new server. I can't remember the name of the system that they're using, but there is really no DNS. Well, actually, there is a DNS change, and I will put it on the video and also in the description. And on top of that, there are also two backup DNSs that just in case that one goes down, they'll use one of those two. So, everything is good in the hood for that, and everything is working, and it's great. I just saw people on yesterday, just like how I was on COD 3. I did not play, I just checked out Game Tracker, and people were online. So, everything seems to be working, and, everything's good. So, yeah, it's basically it for PS2 news. And I'm glad everything's back to normal. And I really don't know what's going to happen after this, to be honest, other than Call of Duty 3 having the usual monthly DNS change. But anyways, let's get into the Battlefront 2 Community Review Part 2. So, where do I begin once again? So I left off talking about how the community never really is filled with negative people, never really trash talking or any of that stuff, compared to communities like Call of Duty, Battlefield, any other shooter, to be honest, is like this. And I really don't know why. I think it's because of just the sheer size, I mean. And with a lot of people, there's going to be a lot of good people, but at the same time, there's going to be more bad people. And it's a lot easier to notice the bad people simply because it seems like they're more vocal. A lot of the more toxic players are more vocal than just, your average person who wants to have fun in the game. And because of this, it usually makes the community look more toxic and more negative. And it's kind of unfortunate, but it's true. Battlefront is not like this because there really isn't enough people to have toxic players, but that's really it. And to kind of continue from where I left off, I think it's really kind of an interesting experience to be a part of this. I mean, we're still around right now. And I mean, it's weird to think about that with all the stuff going on. And this is like the third time we shut down. Obviously, it's back up now, which is good. But it's so odd because you would think everyone would have given up after the second time, even. And they didn't. I mean, we're still all here. Um, Boy, what I do find weird, and I still will never understand this, is why so many people left the first time. I mean, the first time we went down, it was so simple. And I guess it's because there really wasn't that much coverage of it like there is more now. I mean, you have a couple more channels talking about Battlefront 2 in the community. Well, not really talking, but posting videos about gameplay. But for those of you who've subscribed to me early on this channel, I was kind of one of the very early people to talk about Battlefront 2 and how we were back online. If you would have gone on the internet in 2014, late 2014, and looked up Battlefront 2 online PS2 for 2014, you would have only seen my video and those of the people who were supporting the PC community. Now, obviously, the PC community, those videos got a lot more views. I mean, a lot more. And that's because more people played on PC. And also, what I found interesting, I watched a lot of those videos early on. And one of the things I noticed is them talking about solutions for the PS or PC community, but whenever somebody would ask about the PS2 community, they would say, "Oh, well, we don't really know." And seeing as Game Ranger's only for PC, they all basically said that they don't think the PS2 community is going to come back. And that could have helped put the nail in the coffin because there were still a good amount of players before everything went down. And it's just so weird because after everything closed and then came back, there was Nobody. Only the very few veterans that would sometimes go on. I mean, there really was no organization yet. We would not start having these weekly battles until a year later, basically. And it's kind of weird to think about that. We were kind of in that limbo situation for a long time before things kind of went back to normal. And what I find very weird about this whole situation that happened back then was, while yes, it was expected that a lot of the more casual players, the people who would just show up for a couple matches, maybe play monthly, it's understandable that they would quit because they really wouldn't follow the game too much. But the thing is, people who were in clans, people who played regularly, people who I saw basically every day on the game, who I would know, I still know some of their names today, and I look back at some of those earlier YouTube videos from like 2014, 2013, and I recognize a lot of the names that I would see basically all the time. And it's weird that those people left, that they all went because they played so often. I would never thought that they would just quit it. And it's actually kind of weird because I really don't see my gamer tag that often. Well, if at all, in any of the older videos. I don't know why. I probably just caught them at the wrong time or something. But it's so weird just to see these people who were into the game a lot just leave. And I mean, there were whole clans that left. And even though the Star Wars Battle, I mean, maybe that's expected because the Star Wars Battlefront community went down for a year in return for 2015, where they had their final season. So I can see why some would leave. It makes sense for that to happen, but at the same time, it's just, I can't believe they wouldn't really follow or try to learn what the situation is, seeing as they kind of knew, yeah, this is an older game. Yeah, it might shut down, but there's obviously going to be solutions or attempts at solutions, and it's just odd that that happened. But even with that said, the community we have right now is dedicated. I mean, if it were to go down again, which I don't think it will now because, like I said, they have backups. They have people who are basically running it for until they think, the time is right. They will come back again. I mean, they did come back again. And I remember when I was on Game Tracker, there was a couple of people thinking that it was the end and talking about all the fun times they had on Battlefront 2. Even I left a comment saying, talking about that stuff. But the thing is, they weren't giving up. They weren't like the older generation where they kind of just let it be and let it go. But with us, they were all, ready to come back and keep on playing and figure out how to fix everything. And it's weird. It's weird to see a community that dedicated. I mean, of course, there are some games that, like, I mean, this is a great game. That's might be the reason why. But at the same time, there are also games that are almost as good, if not better, that had communities that were just trash and just quit. And I really don't know why. I don't know why this game survived this long and is still surviving. Just kind of like Call of Duty 3 also. You see more people on Call of Duty 3 than COD 2, yet people hated COD 3 and adored COD 2. I don't know what the reason for that is. And it's just one of those things that is special about this community and is why it's so awesome. Um, I don't really know what more to say. This is really all I can think of, and I don't think I'll do a part 3. I think this is it. Um, and yeah, this is what I think about the community. I think it's awesome. I think it's a very interesting and very lively community, even though it's small. There really isn't a lot of trash talking. There isn't a lot of negativity, and it seems like the people that are here now are more dedicated than ever compared to any other community in gaming history. Of course, this is just my opinion. There might be things that I am unaware of at the moment, but in terms of what I'm seeing right now, this is what I think, and this is what I feel. And I hope you enjoyed this review. And next time, I might be doing COD 3. I don't have any new gameplay, but I will, create some. And hopefully I will be able to do a Battlefront 2 funny moments. And while you would use this gameplay for it, the only problem is The sound, I don't know what the hell happened. The sound is all static, and I don't know why. I think one of my AV cables might have been messed up, but I will record new footage and hopefully funny things will happen. You know, it's just chance. And I thank you guys for watching and hope you enjoyed it. Have a good day.